We left Sydney Harbour with the
We are currently in Volcano, outside of Sicily at the Aeolian Islands, and we decided to give you a little bit of a walkthrough on our boat to show you what the boat looks like, give you an idea of what you have done. So I hope you will enjoy the little tour. Meanwhile, you can also enjoy this beautiful little view here. And yes, I know there's a lot of boats, but still it is gorgeous. Anne-Lill and Dean, one boat, a whole new adventure. Welcome back to Sailing Queen Lizzy. Welcome aboard Queen Lizzy 2. She's a Bali 4.6. And if you ever never stepped onto a Bali before, the first thing everybody notices is the space. So let's start right here in the aft cockpit, because this is where most of our life actually happens. It's very wide, open and spacious. And the famous Bali garage door opens up everything behind it. Morning coffees, sundowners, dinner with friends, it all ends up here, whatever the actual plan for the day was supposed to be. And if you walk over here, you will notice we're not on a dock, but at anchor in the beautiful Aeolian Islands. And this is the bit that sells a Bali. The whole back wall is a tilting garage door. It's hydraulic, and when it lifts, the cockpit and the saloon becomes one enormous open room. Inside and outside, it just disappear into each other. We open it the moment we drop anchor, rain or shine, because there's nothing like sitting here with the whole boat open front to back. The galley is right here as you walk through the salon. By the forward cockpit door on the port side, we got a full-size fridge and freezer, a combined induction and gas cooktop, a gas oven and a proper bench space to actually cook on, not the fold-down kind you brace against in a swell. And most important of all, a proper coffee machine and a soda stream for making fizzy drinks. For two people living aboard full-time, the kitchen this size is a luxury we never take for granted. The salon table seats the whole crew, and the nav station's over there on the starboard side next to the galley. It's a really good working space for Dean. The windows do most of the work in here, large sliding ones at the back of the salon and big ones through the galley area too. So the light comes in from both sides. They're not quite wraparound. There's a blank section on each side where the outside stairs to the Flybridge sits, but they put the fridge and other nice things there, so we're using it. But the big front window to the left of the front door opens right up as well. So if we want more airflow through, we got it. We also built onto the nav desk a small extension with a proper desk space to work on. And if you lift the top, there's a whole section underneath for tools. Below that, it's all drawers, screwdrivers, spare bits, the 100 small things you never think you'll need until you do. And about this size, that's a genuine problem to solve, and this little corner solves it. Everything got a home, and for once we actually know where it is. Now here's the other thing that makes a Bali a Bali. A door straight out of the salon onto the foredeck. No clambering around on the side decks. And instead of trampolines, you get this solid forward cockpit, cushions, a table, and quite simply the best seat in the house for a sunset or quiet morning before anyone else is up. At anchor or in the marina, life and dinners are spent right here almost as often as in the back. Let's head below. Our Queen Lizzy 2 is a 3-cabin version, so this whole starboard hull is ours. Island bed, a proper ensuite with double sinks, a workspace with ample drawers and more storage than you'd ever guess from looking at her. Over in the porthole we got 2 guest cabins, each with their own head and proper shower. So visitors get their own space, and so do we. Up top is the Flybridge, stairs on both sides, nice and safe. This is where we do most of the sailing, helm to port side, all the instruments are right here. And a lounge and a big sunbed for who's ever keeping the skipper company. 360 degrees of view, nothing blocking it. On passage, this is our favorite place in the world, and on a slow day, it's just as good for doing absolutely nothing. Then there's the stuff that turns a holiday boat into a home you can actually live on. We have solar, batteries, lithium battery that is, water makers, Starlink, etc. This is what lets us drop the anchor somewhere beautiful and just stay for a while. So, there is stuff that actually turns this boat into a livable boat, and that's all the stuff you usually do after you buy it. And Dean will walk you through some of the changes we've done, and hopefully you would like and be interested in what we actually have done to this boat.
So we've done a lot of additions to the Queen Lizzy. Generally the production boats like Bali, Lagoon, Leopard, etc. Are mostly sold to charter fleets. So if you want to really customize it and add a lot more livability features and a lot more features to allow you to be off grid for a lot longer, then they're things that you need to add on afterwards. So we did a number of those things. We, from an electrical point of view, we added a large solar rig out the back of the boat, which added another 4 panels that each were 330 kilowatts. We have also recently added 2 more solar panels in front of the mast, just in front of the mast, flexible panels, and that's added for those 2 panels together another approximately 300 watts. So that gives us a total of about 1900 watts, I think it is.
No, 2,300.
2,300. But realistically, on a good day, we will get up roughly 1,300 watts in the med. It's going to vary depending where you are in the world, but you never get your full 100%. Some of the panels will be shielded by the boom. In our case, I've actually moved the boom across, but you still get shade on panels. So we've done that. We switched over to lithium. We have how much lithium now?
1,860.
1,860 amp hours of lithium, still 12 volt of course. So our constraint really is just having enough solar to keep feeding it in. Now we also then swapped over a number of our items on board to be using lithium rather than the generator or shore power. So what do I mean by that? So we firstly upgraded the existing inverter, which is 2,000 watt, to a 5,000 watt inverter, and then we moved that 2,000 watt inverter to replace the 1,200 watt inverter that drives the fridge, and in our case also our wine fridge, which we installed. So on a Bali you have 2 inverters, one for all the house systems and one that really is primarily focused on the fridge. So we did that also then to allow us to have more flexibility with what we're driving off the inverter. So when you get the boat from the factory, the microwave, the washing machine, a number of those items will only work if the generator's on or if you're on shore power. Now, of course, with 5,000 watt inverter, we can run those things off batteries. So the air conditioning's been switched across, so we can actually run 2 cabins of air conditioning all night just off battery, and that will take us from, generally when we go to bed we're at 95% of battery, and when we wake up in the morning we're at about 55% of battery, which for lithium is still fine. Once you get below 40%, then your inverter will save the power for the 12 volt systems. So we put in new batteries, and that's given us a lot more livability. We can run everything off the inverter. Solar is doing its best to charge it up during the day, but still occasionally we still need the generator if it's a cloudy day, or if we run both air conditioning systems all night, it's a struggle to fully charge the batteries from 50% to 100% just in one day. We installed Starlink. Starlink for us is just imperative. From a safety point of view, from a communications point of view, you wouldn't be without it. So the Starlink I installed on the roof, a Gen 3 Starlink, and then with a bit of work ran the cabling down off the solid bimini roof all the way down to underneath the nav desk. And we also got for our Starlink a 12 volt power supply, which Starlink will provide for you, and that's wired into our 12 volt system, so we don't need 240 volts to run Starlink. I did actually add another switch in so I can switch off Starlink at the helm station if I need to, but we rarely do that.
And I think it's been a little bit modest here, because running that cable was not easy. It took some time,
yes,
some conviction,
yes,
and also, or convincing, and also a couple of other guys on board when we had guests.
Yep.
It took a little bit of time to get
so
there.
it's just fiddly running cables around boats, particularly when they're a new boat and you don't know what's the best path to get a cable from one end of the boat to the other. So Starlink is fantastic. That connects into our new data hub, our PredictWind Data Hub Pro, which is our primary router, and then everything runs off that. So that's our wireless router for our TVs, for our Apple TV, for all of our laptops, our phones. Everything runs through the Data Hub Pro. What else have we installed? We installed an air compressor at the back, which you'll see some footage of. That allows us to pump up our Fendertex fenders, which we bought. The Fendertex fenders just take up a lot less space. It also allows us to easily pump up our standard paddle boards. We've got a sun-chill ring, all of those things.
It just makes life a lot easier.
Yep. At the same time as we installed the solar rig at the back, we also had our davits rebuilt in thicker tubed stainless. The initial ones that come from Bali are rated only to about 150 kilos, and with our dinghy we were just over that 150 kilos. The thinner tube was just a bit too flimsy, so we've upgraded that. It looks the same, it's just thicker steel.
And all the noise you're hearing is other boats coming into anchor next to us, because we are in a fairly busy place at Volcano at the Aeolian Islands. Beautiful, but Friday it is busy here.
So what else do we do? The water maker, we installed that. That was a factory made water maker, or factory installed water maker. We didn't add that on. We have recently taken out the gas cooktop and replaced it with a induction cooktop.
Oh, a combined with gas and induction.
Yeah, so it has two induction coils, and it has two gas connections, so that it gives us that flexibility should be short of power. That easily runs off the inverter, so no problems. And we bought one from, what's the brand we got? A brand of induction cooker?
It's Clarston.
Clarston.
Yes.
The Clarston cooktop fitted exactly in the hole that the original gas cooktop came out of.
We're
So
very lucky with that
So
one.
that was easy. We've done lots of other things. We removed the bench seat in the owner's cabin.
And by that, we mean that, you know, when most owners' cabins got this little sofa downstairs, which we never used, but I needed a workspace, we needed some extra drawers. So we got that removed and we put in a very nice desk with extra drawers as well. It's so much more practical.
Yeah. We find for our lifestyle, although we're not working, we still like to have our little offices where we can do some work. Anne-Lill's doing editing. I've got emails and things that I need to do. So I have my nav desk as my office, and she has her office downstairs where the bench seat used to be. Next to my nav desk, we also had a carpenter build essentially a tool cupboard.
Yeah.
So all of the tools, we have a full range of tools because you just never know what you would need at any time. Plus boxes of spare screws, electrical connections, you know, because again, you never know what you need to fix when you're in the middle of nowhere. So all of that stuff has gone in there.
And one of the things we also did, which is, you know, it's not a big thing, but when you use a boat, it actually counts. So under all our sofas or seats in the salon, we have ample storage space, but fiddly open because the lids didn't really match the size of the cushions. They weren't hinged on, so there's always a drama when you're going to open up and use that storage space. So we kind of adjusted the lids a little bit, put on hinges, and also put on automatic small gas struts to keep it open while using it. And that's like kind of changed the way we use that space, because now it's easy to open. It stays open while you are getting things in and out. You don't smack your fingers. You don't have to dismantle the whole sofa. And we actually now use that space in a much better way than we used to.
Yeah. So we've added a lot of these things, also because it was easier to add them at the start while we were still in La Rochelle. It's too hard to get major things done during the summer while you're cruising around. You're not in one place long enough to get anything done because it's summer, so everyone's on holidays. So really the time to get work done is winter. It was either when we picked up the boat or when winter in this case will be in Port Lacat this year.
And another thing we did, which you might see, we're sitting underneath a sunshade, and that's such a good investment, especially in the Maid with the heat and the sun. So we invested in a proper sunshade in front of the boat, and also we invested in some proper back shadings or clears that can close that whole transom in, especially when it's a little bit humid or it's raining or cold. We can actually still have the garage door open and have a much larger indoor-outdoor space without getting wet or too cold. And we also did that upstairs at on the helm station or the bridge. It's fully enclosed with clears, but we made the clears in a double way. So we can either have the clears down, or we can have sunshades down, or we can have both down without swapping them out. They're all integrated into one setup, and that's also been a little bit of a game saver when the weather is bad, or like now the sun is beating down. It actually keeps that place up there quite cool and comfortable when we're sailing.
Yeah, so that's a quick summary of the things that we've done. If you're familiar with the Bali, when you see our footage, you'll see little bits and pieces that we've added, brackets for the stand-up paddle boards and handles that we've attached to the bimini roof. So when you're moving around on the Flybridge, you've actually got something to hang on to.
Yes.
Because we spend a whole day on the Flybridge when we're underway. So being able to walk around but still have something to hold on to in rough conditions, very important.
If we do a night sail, just walking around and knowing that you can hold on to something if there's a little bit of unexpected wave or anything like that. It's actually a really good thing for us. But I think that covers most of the things we've done for now. We forgot one thing. When you buy the Bali, it usually comes with a nice enough foldable table, not very practical.
A salon table.
Salon table, or it's just very big. So we decided we actually wanted a little bit nicer tables than having the, what do you call it, plastic tables that was on.
Yeah, it's melamine or
melamine, yeah.
Particle board.
The same carpenter that did the toolbox and a few other things for us, he made a beautiful new salon table, and upstairs in front cockpit table for us as well. So we really enjoy having that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
So,
Thanks.
yeah, all good.
And that's our Queen Lizzy too. She's not perfect. She is a constant work in progress, but she's ours and she's carrying us somewhere pretty special. If you'd like to come along for the journey, subscribe and join us, and we will see you out there.
Hit that subscribe on your way out the door. Go on, tap it, you know you want to. See you next time on Queen Lizzy.